so wonderful to have you all with us here on this incredible webinar day where we are going to talk about Giving Tuesday and how to drive donations on such an important day using social media. It's going to be a great chat. First, I would just like to say that I know there's a lot going on right now in our country. We are so grateful that you are here with us today, Give Butter fam, and for all of the wonderful things that you all do in your communities for those you serve. You are change makers, and we're excited to spend the next hour with you talking about how you can drive support to your incredible organization this Giving Tuesday. Good stuff is ahead today, my friends. So, like I said, get cozy, maybe get some coffee. I don't know, whatever your beverage of choice is in the morning. I'm a tea girl, but choose your poison there. Maybe get a little yummy treat and let's go ahead and dive in and get started with some introductions. So please, oh, Blair, hello, my friend. I'm so glad you're in the Zoom room with us today. If you all could please go ahead, introduce yourself in that chat there. Tell us your name. Tell us your location. Where are you zooming in from? What's your organization as well? We want to know. And always, you are welcome to use emojis to just kind of tell us how you are excited about today's presentation or anything else you would like to share today. Angelica, welcome. Elizabeth. Oh, Danny, so great to have you from Indiana Diaper Bank. I'm so glad you're here, my friend. Great to see you. Jackie, welcome. Oh my gosh, I love seeing the chat blow up. How wonderful to have all of you in the room with us today. How wonderful indeed. So that's great. Keep those chats coming. Of course, we want to hear from you. We want to see you. We want to learn about you. But a little bit about myself as well. Hello, my name is Stephanie Barnhill. Chances are you might know me because we've worked together, but if not, it's such a pleasure to meet you. I am a fundraising expert over here at Give Butter. I am from the Mitten. I'm from Michigan, my friends. That's about right there if you're looking at the Mitten. And my joy is really just helping customers meet their fundraising goals through our incredible platform. And it is such a joy to do that as well. So thank you all again for being here. We are so excited. We're going to go ahead and just hop into our little agenda and do a little housekeeping as we're getting ready to get cooking here. So of course, we're starting off with some welcome and introductions. Keep it going in that chat. Hello, Raylan. Hello, Elizabeth and Gloria. Great to have you here. We are going to be talking, of course, about how to drive donations on Giving Tuesday coming up very soon using social media. We've got that live Q&A at the end of the presentation, towards the end. So definitely let us know what questions you have in the Q&A chat. And of course, we're going to wrap up with some reminders as well. So a little housekeeping. The recording and the slides will be emailed to you after the webinar. Have no fear. We got you. We're going to send it to you. Life is good. Please use that Q&A chat, like I said, to ask any questions that you have. We are going to make sure that we get to as many as we can. And of course, if we can't get to all of them, we're going to make sure that you know how to connect with Julia, the amazing Julia, to ask those questions direct. Comment and use emojis in the chat, please. We love it. We want to see you. We want to hear from you. And as always, though, do keep that chat respectful and kind, as you always do, because you're our Butter fam and you're the best. So a little bit of housekeeping there. We are so excited to move this forward and get rocking over here. Just a couple hellos. Susie, welcome. Dr. Sandy, welcome. Megan, so glad to have you from Austin. Fantastic. I love this. Future Chicagoan, Diane, love to hear that. Shout out to the Midwest over here. All right, well, as our community knows, Give Butter is your all-in-one fundraising solution. Listen, we've got your back for all of your fundraising activities, your hosting of events, your auctions, we got you, as well as offering robust features for donor management, as well as your donor engagement needs. And since we've launched some exciting new features recently, we're going to bring in our fabulous Butter expert, Claudia, to spread some good cheer. Hi, Claudia. Thanks for being here.
Steph, thank you so much for having me in this webinar. I love our job because I love seeing so many familiar names and organizations. So hello, Laura. Hello, Tom. Jamie, great job using Bootcamp, all of that you learned from Give Better Bootcamp to support your fundraising. It's just so wonderful to see the community that we've really fostered over here. And Celeste as well. So for those of you who don't know, my name is Claudia. I am your customer education manager here at Give Better. And here's what's new for you. So if we can move to that next slide over here, we have launched a new Give Better Academy course. So this is going to be focused on fundraising events. So this is a self-paced course that can help you plan and execute awesome fundraising events using your favorite tool, Give Better. So in this course, we cover everything from event planning to building your campaign, ticketing, and I know this is really important for you, even collecting donations on site with our mobile app. So lots to get in there. To get started, you can head over to academy.givebetter.com. Now that's not all. Let's talk about this new fantastic feature that we've added to Give Better Auctions. So this is actually going to allow you to reach out to bidders who didn't win an item, but ask them to convert their highest bid into a donation. So talk about a great way to maximize your fundraising potential and support your cause even further. Now, as a gentle reminder, in addition to our suite of great fundraising features, we also have pledge management. So this feature is simply a fantastic way to streamline your pledge tracking and fulfillment process all in one place. Now, personally, what I love about pledge management is that it allows you to create unique payment links for each pledge. So you can share these links with your donors. They can easily make payments towards their commitment, and both you and your donors can track that progress of each pledge in real time. Now that's not all here. Let's talk about Giving Tuesday and what your strategy is going to be. Now, just imagine the ability to automate thank you emails, create your own custom reports with data visualization, and even send a personalized thank you message on the day of Giving Tuesday. You can all do that. You can do that all with Give Better Plus over here. So Give Better Plus is going to be your suite of advanced features that are designed to streamline your work and, of course, maximize your impact, especially perfect for Giving Tuesday over here. So there's never been a better time to start that 30-day free trial. You can do so in your settings section of your dashboard here. You can design beautiful Giving Tuesday specific emails with our advanced email editor. You can create your own custom workflows for how you'd like to engage with your supporters before or after Giving Tuesday. And of course, visualizing all of that transactional data that comes in on Giving Tuesday. Now, remember, no credit card is required, so I definitely recommend. We are a few weeks out of Giving Tuesday. Be sure to start that 30-day free trial today. Thank you so much, Steph, for giving me a space here to talk about all the great stuff that we're doing here at Give Better.
Oh my gosh. Thank you, Claudia. Listen, do we all love, can we just put in the chat how much we all love Claudia? We all know her. We all love her. Thank you, Claudia. Always turning up the best updates for us. We are so grateful. And truly that pledges feature, y'all, that is phenomenal. I've had some fun playing around with that. I've seen some customers have incredible success with it already. So definitely be sure to check that out. The exciting thing is we are about to dive in, my friends, to how to drive donations on Giving Tuesday using social media. This is big, it's important, it's coming up December 3rd. Hello. So we have a poll to learn a little bit more from you. Where are you with your Giving Tuesday campaign? Can we just hear from you? 1, 2, 3, or 4? 1, I'm just starting to spread the word. 2, I'm getting the campaign rolling, but still need a bit more butter. 3, I'm almost there, just adding the finishing touches. And 4, I am fully whipped into shape and ready to go. What do we have here? Let's look at this chat. Okay. Oh my gosh, numbers all over the place. 1, 2s, 3s, and 4s. A lot of 1s and 2s. Okay, good. You're just starting to spread the word. Things are coming. Things are cooking. You're getting there, 3s and 4s. That's exciting. All right, this is good, good, good. So that's the perfect segue, my friends, into this amazing topic. We are going to be chatting with the amazing, the incredible Julia Campbell today, named as a top thought leader and one to follow by Forbes and LinkedIn for nonprofits, and one of the 30 nonprofit IT influencers to follow in 2024. Julia Campbell is a wealth of knowledge when it comes to designing social media and storytelling strategies that help nonprofits share their mission across the digital landscape. an international keynote speaker. Okay, hello. And host of the acclaimed Nonprofit Nation podcast. She's written not one, two books for nonprofits on social media and storytelling, and her online course, webinars, and talks have helped hundreds of nonprofits make the shift to digital thinking. Amazing. Julia, thank you so much for being here with us today.
I'm so happy to be here. I'm just kind of reeling from this morning, but we're going to just talk about good, happy things today. I just need to be able to share my screen and then we can get right to it. All right. Can everyone see? Everyone can hear? That's enough about me. Lovely intro. I'm so happy to be working with GiveButter this year, and especially the GiveButter Gives Back campaign. I think it's pretty exciting. So we have a lot to cover today, and we want to make sure there's time for questions. So I will be going pretty quickly. Some of the learning objectives that I have, the best ways to use video and social media. That's obviously why we're here. How to use storytelling to get people to pay attention, how to craft a compelling call to action, and then some real world examples from small nonprofits. You can get your freebie. I know they're going to put the link in the chat. Oh, thank you, Patrick. I know the sweater is amazing. And Stephanie had said that she also has the same sweater, so that she was almost going to wear it today and we would have been twinning. It's one of my favorite companies. It's called Oxnit. I don't know. I found them on Instagram. It was one of those Instagram purchases that I do not actually, that I don't actually regret. My podcast is Nonprofit Nation, and you can just find it anywhere you get podcasts. I'll put all the links in the chat for you so that you can connect and listen. But this calendar template, I've worked really hard on this with GiveButter, so I do encourage you to grab it. It's going to be really helpful for you as you plan. So I wanted to share some statistics around Giving Tuesday 2023, just to kind of put it in perspective. Clearly this year is a very different year. And I already saw some questions about election fatigue, and that's something we can talk about, all those fundraising asks. But last year, donors gave $3.1 billion on Giving Tuesday. That's just what has been tracked, but it's not the only way people get involved, right? And we know that. It's a worldwide movement, 90 countries, 300 communities, 34 million adults in the US supported their favorite causes on Giving Tuesday last year. So if we can tackle these 34 million adults and even just double it, even if they're volunteering, even if they're giving back in a way that they want to, rather than financial, because generosity begets generosity. If people give one way, they're more likely to give another way. But that represents a decline in participants from 2022. So it's still a good number, but it is a decline. I don't know if you've heard of the book, The Generosity Crisis. It's a fabulous book by Nathan Chappell. I do recommend reading it. I think we're in the midst of a generosity crisis right now, but it did see 34% increase in recurring gifts. So maybe focusing on those monthly donors, those sustainers this year could be very lucrative. 80% of donors who made a recurring donation on Giving Tuesday made a second one-off gift. So that eliminates that myth, right? If someone's a monthly donor, they're not going to make extra gifts. Generosity begets generosity begets generosity. It's sort of like, if you want something done, ask a busy person. If you want something done, if you want a gift, ask someone who is inclined to give. They don't just give money. There's a lot of things happening on Giving Tuesday that we can tap into, that sort of generosity, the cortex in the brain that stimulates generosity. 82% of organizations use Giving Tuesday to try something new, which I think is very, very exciting. And 84% of those aware of Giving Tuesday report that the movement inspired them to give more. Okay, the myth that is out there is that Giving Tuesday is cannibalizing annual giving, and it's actually not. It's spurring it, it's inspiring it. 82% of 18 to 34-year-olds who know of Giving Tuesday participate in some way. So don't think that Gen Z is not generous and not inspired and involved. And 52% of supporters said they were drawn to the idea of a bigger group of people doing good. This is what we are aiming for. This is how we're going to cut through the clutter and the noise. We're drawing people to a bigger group of people doing good. Also, for social media purposes, it trended #1 on X in 2023. So I'm not personally on X anymore, but it's just showing that the hashtag does still have that gravitas when you use it. The key here is that, the old ways no longer work. We cannot rely on one single channel to be raising money on Giving Tuesday. Also, this is not my inbox. This is from my friend Pamela Grow. I'm going to take a screenshot this year because I'm sure my inbox will be like this. This is something that, we struggle with in our industry because we're so connected. I don't think a lot of normal people's inboxes will look like this, but it's imperative that we make our messaging stand out. It can't be all about Giving Tuesday, because Giving Tuesday is not the reason that I give to you. It's not the reason I make that decision. It might be if you have a match, it might sort of put me over the edge to make that decision, but it's not the number one reason I give to you. So what is your compelling reason to give? It's based on your specific target audience, what will capture their attention, what will pique their interest, what will inspire them to take time to participate in the campaign. Where's the urgency? For Giving Tuesday, I really like impact goals. So an impact goal, this is an example of an impact goal, 700 bikes. It's not, I don't know how much 700 bikes would cost, but it's not $100,000. It's 700 bikes. It's something a little more tangible for people that they can see. Whereas if they have $10 to give and they see a $2 million goal, it might be a little overwhelming for them and a little intimidating. Also, our goal to help 30 families this holiday season, that's an impact goal. These are just some examples of how you can share on social media with a powerful image and a powerful call to action. What is your why? What is the reason people support you? What is the impact that you're having? If you can't share names and faces, that's completely all right. You can do what Amira Incorporated does. They help survivors of sex trafficking. They tend to do the dollar goal. So you want to make sure you're experimenting and do A and B testing with your messaging, because they found that putting the dollar goal in works really well for them and their audience. So there's no one size fits all here. There's no one rule. There's data-backed best practices, but there's no one size fits all or one rule that is going to work for every single nonprofit. What gives you hope on Giving Tuesday? Actually, where are they? I love the Night Ministry. So I don't know if you can see. Yep, you can see. They have an entire page dedicated to their Giving Tuesday campaign. Doubling your impact. What is Giving Tuesday? What's your gift support? It's very, very simple. Having this page on your website can be really helpful when you're looking to explain, first of all, what is Giving Tuesday? We assume that everybody knows what it is. What are you trying to do specifically on this day? You can make it yours. I love campaigns where people take Giving Tuesday and do like Giving Shoes Day. Giving Shoes Day by Dress for Success. It's a very specific call to action. It's very symbolic because shoes represent new opportunity and confidence, a step closer to a new life. I love their philosophy on Giving Shoes Day. So they believe, it creates a great experience for the donor donating their shoes or making a financial donation. And it's usually the first touch with new supporters. That's kind of how we can be looking at our Giving Tuesday campaigns, is a first touch with new supporters and using it more for marketing and awareness purposes, and encouraging people to share and participate and take photos and generate content for us as we go into the year-end giving cycle. Giving Zoo Day. I love Giving Zoo Day. Giving Zoo Day has now sort of transpired into not just zoos, but almost, animal shelters are using it and that kind of thing. But it lifts up a whole group of people. And if you care about zoos, then you're going to want to follow Giving Zoo Day. This, the Toronto Zoo is not stealing money from the Brevard Zoo, because if you live in Toronto, you're more likely to give to the zoo where you are. It just helps amplify the message and helps lift everybody up. I believe in that rising tide lifts all ships so firmly. Grab attention with visuals. So there's some great tools out there, right? Canva. I like Canva. They actually have tons of resources for you. I always accept all the cookies because I love Giving Tuesday. Generate standout Giving Tuesday campaigns with new templates from Canva. You should, I'm going to just post this link in the chat, and you can create these amazing campaigns, website template, checklist, ask letter, Facebook photo cover. We're going to talk about all of these things. So just take advantage of these free resources while you can. While they're out there, they're going to be out there for a while, but make sure that you are checking them out and looking at them with some time to spare. And then Animoto, I really like for videos. It's easy to use on your phone and it's easy to use on desktop. Think about the kind of graphics that you're creating. So look at Rosie's Place Giving Tuesday. Every day of the year, poor and homeless women rely on our dining room and food pantry. Join us in fighting food insecurity. That kind of language, join us, join the movement. Rather than just say, make a gift, tends to work better. These are the graphics that are going to work for you on Giving Tuesday, whether it's a staff member, a volunteer, whether it is a client, if you're able to share client names and faces. You also want to make sure you have a long-term ad strategy. The key with ads on social media is that they need time to process. They need time to, like, the algorithm needs time to kind of see what you're doing and to really focus on targeting your ads towards the audience that's going to take an action. So if you're thinking of running ads for Giving Tuesday, you should start right now. You should start a sort of generic ad, maybe sharing an impact story, maybe sharing some positive accomplishment that you've achieved this year, just so that the algorithms can see who's clicking on it, who's liking it, who's commenting, who's sharing. Because if you just run your ad the day before Giving Tuesday, first of all, it takes about, I'm running ads for a summit that I'm doing. It took like 3 days for the ad to even be approved. And then you've got to run it for a while before you can actually see what's working and what's not. Things with a match obviously work because that's the sense of urgency, but storytelling also really impactful. And this is sort of what it would look in the newsfeed. If you do want to do a donate now campaign, that's fine. If you want to just do a learn more campaign, however you think it would work best for your audience. But we've got to have that eye-catching photo. You've got to work really hard on like the more impact, more hope. Just $20 provides a holiday meal for 5. You're so limited with those characters, so it has to be super impactful. Or if you look at this other ad, match my gift for 2 times the impact. And the Greater Boston Food Bank, they run quite a few ads, especially around year end and Giving Tuesday. And they always test their headlines, they test their subject lines, they test their calls to action to find out what works for them. Think about using live video. Why I would encourage you to use live video is because it gets the most traction of any other kind of video on any platform. So when you go live on Facebook, or you go live on Instagram, or you go live on LinkedIn, then some of your followers will get a notification that you're live. Like, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, if you're on the app, you'll see at the top, all the little circles for people, that's who's shared stories. But if someone's live, it's like blinking and it says live right under it. The same on Facebook, it grabs people's attention. People love live video. That's why we like live webinars. We like to be together. We like to be together in community. And, even if it's not completely perfect and I mess up a couple of words, it's not going to matter. So for me, I think a strategy to going live on Giving Tuesday, explaining exactly what the campaign is about. And then of course the live video can live on your page forever, can live in your account forever. You can use it and repurpose it and do whatever you want with it. Make sure you're telling people that you're going live. This is No Kid Hungry. They were live for the entirety of Giving Tuesday. I think this was a few years ago. And they just did a thank you wall. And, it would be live. It was almost like the old school, television marketing campaigns or television fundraising campaigns, the telethons. And I thought it was a neat idea, but it was more like a thankathon. Think about the frequently asked questions that your donors have and your supporters have about your work. Think about who's the face of your organization. Have them do a takeover for Instagram for a live Giving Tuesday event. And it's just a really great way to humanize, to put a human face on your organization, and to really get more traction in the algorithm. Sharing impactful stories. This is never going to change. Now, there are so many studies and reports coming out talking about entertaining content and how entertaining content is the best kind of content that you can share across platforms in order to gain attention. We don't necessarily have like entertaining content like, say, a big brand does, like Nike or something like that. But we do have impactful stories. We are on the ground, like we are boots on the ground. We're in the trenches doing this work every single day. And I can't be on the ground in the trenches for every cause that I care about. But I expect and I hope that you will all be the go-to resources for me. You'll be my source of information, source of inspiration. And that's how we should really look at social media. Stories of hope, little quote, and then the link, you know, having a great picture there. Oh, this is BGC Boston. I absolutely love them. Why should you support us this Giving Tuesday? Just ask one of the kids that we have here, you know, shares why she loves her club. That was, I mean, you can't really get any better than that. I know a lot of you don't have those kinds of resources and can't share those stories, but there's nothing more heartwarming than hearing from an actual person that is benefiting from a program. We're 1 week away. You know, Aurora is going to share all that we do. I think you should start talking about Giving Tuesday, your campaign, beforehand, more than just a couple of days beforehand. But when you get that calendar template, it's going to show you what to do 1 month out, 3 weeks out, 1 month out, 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 1 week, and all of that. So make sure you grab that freebie. It's going to give you sort of an idea of how and when to send out your communications. You know, just another example of people that made videos and shared them. Working with influencers. Now, it might seem very intimidating, but I want us all to just kind of like take a breath. Working with influencers. An influencer is anyone who has influence in your community. It could be a school board member. It could be the person that's president of your university. It could be anyone. It does not have to be someone that has 10 million followers. So working with an influencer, what that gets you is your message in front of their audience. So it has to be aligned. It has to make sense. Now, Ms. Marfelis is one of my favorite disability and chronic disease advocates. She works with a lot of different organizations, shedding light and sharing information, dispelling myths around all of the myths and misconceptions, the stereotypes about Marfan syndrome, which is something she has and experiences and very passionate about, but she does talk about what it's like to live with chronic disease. And that's what her audience cares about. So taking advantage, like not taking advantage, but finding people that work, that have the audience that you aspire to attract or aspire to talk to. And it also just gives you, you know, a little bit more cachet when you're working with other people in the community that believe strongly in what you do. Share statistics on the problem. Statistics do work. You can't rely on them solely for fundraising, but they do help that part of our brain that is logical. And they also might be very surprising. You know, in 2024, an estimated 310,720 new cases of invasive breast cancer will be diagnosed in the United States. So think about the statistics that you can share. How can you visualize all of this data that you have? What is something really surprising that you found this year? I'm trying to think of the statistics. I just met, I spoke at the Bridge Conference over the summer with a man that I had met online who runs an organization helping formerly incarcerated people get back on their feet. And he said that 1 in 2 Americans will experience they will have some experience with law enforcement, either being arrested or getting a ticket or getting a citation or something like that. And I thought that statistic was so shocking and it stuck in my head. So what are some other statistics that you can use and leverage to either shock and awe people or make people happy or make people feel inspired? Just think about what you have at your disposal and then try something new. What was the statistic before? It was like 80% of nonprofits are trying something new on Giving Tuesday. Look at Giving Tuesday Bingo. I love that. I don't think they gave out prizes for that, but I thought it was just a cute little graphic. You can make it on Canva very easily. Think about what you're doing with your website. How are you leveraging your website? Now on WBUR, the NPR affiliate in Boston, on Giving Tuesday, it's always a pop-up, a very simple graphic. You can also get all these graphics on the givingtuesday.org website. Your gift goes further when you support WBUR and independent journalism. Give now, which is a quick little pop-up. Make sure you're leveraging your website as well. What about text messaging? What about texting? What about how are we using SMS? Now, to say, I do know that we are coming off a pretty intense election cycle where a lot of you might have received many more text messages than you want. So Giving Tuesday is December 3rd, right? It's December 3rd. So I would say people are, probably going to be a little bit more amenable to text message fundraising or just a text message reminder on December 3rd than they are, say, like today. So just, be mindful of that. But that will, that's going to really drive donations because people get that reminder. Text messages are opened, it's like 80, 90% of the time, as opposed to think about your email open rate. Make sure you're sharing updates and thank yous. Updates and thank yous. Thank you to everyone who celebrated Giving Tuesday by supporting patients like Marco and their families. We have a matching gift. And then the night ministry, like I told you, one of my favorite, they don't have the exact numbers until maybe the next day. Don't think you have to have exact numbers. You just have to say thank you and encourage people to keep spreading the word. If someone comes and volunteers and you can tag them and you can sort of build that out, because then they're going to share it like Salvation Army did with DTE Energy. Second Harvest Food Bank, it's not too late. And they've incorporated some text giving. Text give OC to 41444 or go to this link. Think about how people are using their cell phones. I mean, how they're consuming social media. They're using it on probably their phone or a tablet. So giving them a text option might work for this as well. Okay, let me take a sip of my water. Now, Stephen Shattuck is one of my absolute favorite thought leaders. And he talked about the engagement signals that we need to look for on Giving Tuesday. It cannot just be number of donors. It cannot just be amount raised. Look for someone making their first gift. How are you going to love on them? How are you going to really make them feel special? Someone starting a new monthly commitment. Someone starting a Facebook fundraiser for you without you asking them to. A monthly donor making a one-time 13th gift. These are the things that we need to focus on because these are the people that are going to stay with us in the long run. Hopefully, someone making their first gift, we need to really steward them and show them that their gift is worth being made. Starting a new monthly commitment, that is huge. If someone's been donating $100 to you for 5 years, and then they do a $20 or even a $10 monthly commitment, that's huge. That's an upgrade, and that needs to be acknowledged. And then people that are doing the peer-to-peer fundraising, the crowdfunding, and raising money from their audiences and their networks and extending themselves like that, that is absolutely so powerful and should be acknowledged. And a monthly donor making a one-time 13th gift. It happens, and it happens all the time. I recommend on Giving Tuesday focusing on these 4 segments, seeing who they are, seeing how many donors upgraded their gift or gave that 13th gift. Now we have a ton of resources for you here. These are all free. They're all developed by Giving Tuesday. This is the complete guide to Giving Tuesday for organizations and causes. This is just, you can add it to your calendar, the way you can participate. A question that I get all the time, and I'm getting in my inbox right now, is where do I sign up for Giving Tuesday? You do not sign up for Giving Tuesday. It is just a hashtag. It's like you don't sign up for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It's like you just celebrate it and you promote it and you create your own content around it. So you can sign up and you can submit your campaign. So they have you logged in their logs, but it's not something where you have to sign up and you get money if you sign up. I do recommend signing up for the Give Butter Gives Back campaign because that actually is a contest and a campaign where you can win donations and other prizes. So givingtuesday.org, it's a nonprofit. And I think that's so important for us to understand. Building the case for Giving Tuesday. So actually, I want to see in the chat, how many of you are having a tough time building a case for Giving Tuesday at your organization? Are you getting friction? Are you getting static? Are you getting side-eye looks when people say, when people say, oh, Giving Tuesday. Do you get the Giving Tuesday is the Hunger Games for nonprofits? That's my friend Vule, the nonprofit unicorn who coined that. And I just completely have a different opinion. Oh, getting nothing back, lack of engagement, been very hard to get a match this year. Too much, too little time, no resistance. Okay. I need human resource apprehension. Recently City Giving Day in October. Oh, yes. The City Giving Days. I know a lot of you have those, or the State Giving Days. I don't think people really understand the idea altogether. That makes absolute sense. I don't think so either. Let's see. Excitement. People tend not to give for Giving Tuesday or just wait until the year-end appeal. I'm thinking more about your internal staff. So actually that's interesting because your donors are a different subset. I'm thinking about making it so you've got to make the case for Giving Tuesday both to your maybe you make the decision, maybe you're a one-person shop or maybe you're the ED, but when in my experience as a development director, I would have to make the case to the board and the ED, and then you have to make your case as to why people should give to you on Giving Tuesday. So it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. Oh, it's exciting. Have a lot of ideas. A concern due to lack of effectiveness in the past. What I've been seeing a lot is that boards and governance of organizations, EDs, they tend to think just like Facebook fundraising. Do you remember when Facebook fundraising came around and they thought it was like a flip that we could switch and just raise millions of dollars instantly? They think Giving Tuesday is like that as well. And then when that doesn't happen, when they find out you really have to work hard to create this campaign and to create this momentum, when they find out how hard it is, then they do tend to be skeptical. But I really encourage you to read this Making the Case for Giving Tuesday. Not everyone is being invited to give. 9% of those who hadn't been asked would have given if they had been asked. There is an untapped generosity market. There's an untapped generosity market. We think we're annoying people. We are not annoying people. We're not giving them enough opportunities. 86% of people aware of Giving Tuesday report they inspire them to be more generous. So the noise helps. All of this social media helps all of us. The more we talk about Giving Tuesday and the importance of generosity, the better it is. I saw some posts last year that I really liked from local nonprofits talking about other local nonprofits and encouraging people to support them as well. So how can we get out of this mindset where we're all fighting for scraps when there's billions and billions of dollars out there that are untapped? Okay, so this dispels all the myths for you that I've talked about today. You want to make sure you are checking that one out. Oh, this is very cool. I'm just going to look at this very quickly. This is a campaign planner. You have to sign up for it. I wish I could test it out. It's basically like ChatGPT, but you put your ideas in there and it helps you come up with a plan. So I just recommend this. Is a great tool to play around with, especially if you're just starting from scratch and you don't really have any ideas if you're starting from a blank page. We looked at the Canva templates, but there's even more. There's even more. The reasons to share your generosity online and offline. So take some time, put it into your calendar and really take some time to explore all of these free resources. Use the Canva templates, use all of that. Now, I want to turn it back to you and we're going to have some time for questions. I'm hoping people are putting things in the Q&A so I can find them. If you put it in the chat is moving pretty fast. So I don't know if I'll be able to get to it, but make sure you put it in the Q&A. But what is one action step you're going to take today to jumpstart your fabulous Giving Tuesday campaign? Just one. Can we put the link for the planner in here? I might have to find it again. Oh, I have it. Hold on. I got it here. This is the planner. Let me see. Okay. Start creating. I love it. Implement Julia's planner. It could just be take a walk and breathe and think about how you're going to present this to your board, something like that. Oh yeah. Open the AI planner and put my ideas in it. Awesome. I can put that link to that planner in there either as well. Use the spreadsheet. Okay. I think synthesizing ideas is great. Oh, create video content. A resource that I want to share with you, and I didn't put it in here, Candid's experiment. So Candid, this is a blog post. Candid is a nonprofit. It was GuideStar merged with the Foundation Center, and they did an experiment where they wanted to film, 20 short videos in 30 days for Instagram Reels and TikTok, and then see how it went. So they set the parameters. Now, I want you all to know, Candid, they have no dogs, they have no cats, they have no environmental landscapes to showcase, they have no clients, they have no people. They're a think tank for nonprofits. And actually, they're a great resource for all of you. And they're a think tank, and they basically just answer questions like, how do I start a nonprofit? How do I get my first grant? How do I manage human resources? That kind of stuff. Very dry, but they did very well with their videos because they provided helpful, useful, resourceful content. So I really would take a look at what Candid is doing on social media. You do not have to have dogs, cats, dancing dolphins to be successful. Okay. Prepare a live Facebook, trying to match miles on recurring pledges. How do we build up our launch earlier before December 3rd? That is where the calendar comes in, this calendar, the free download. So I will send that to you. And the AI link is, let me see, is here. And you'll get all the slides, and you'll get all of these resources. You will get all of these resources sent to you. Okay. So if you want to connect with me, I'm on LinkedIn. Like I said, my podcast is Nonprofit Nation with Julia Campbell. You can look it up anywhere you get your podcasts. I'll just put a quick link in there too. But now I really want to move into Q&A. Connect with me on LinkedIn. And yeah, I would love to take these questions. I know there are so many coming in. There's so many links, so much activity in the chat.
There's a ton, Julia. Oh my gosh, there's a million questions. There's a ton.
Okay.
Thank you so much. First of all, that was incredible. Can we show some love to Julia in the chat? I mean, this was giving us treats and resources left and right, like spilling like incredible wisdom in a very short amount of time. This has been amazing, Julia. Thank you for that. And yeah, I'm going to rattle off some questions to you. We've got more than we're going to get to today. Friends, if we don't get to your question, like Julia offered, do reach out, do connect, because these are really, really good questions that you're asking. Julia, let's start with this one. And this kind of goes back to what you were talking about with election fatigue. Are there specific changes that nonprofits should make to the plan that they already had? So if they were already had a certain amount of texts or emails they were going to send for end of year, is there some adjustments they should be making with this election season?
I mean, I don't think so. I think you will know, trust your gut if you think it's going to be inappropriate. But what I always see is that we get scared away constantly. There's always something, right? There's always the election. There's always a hurricane. There's always an emergency crisis. There's international stuff going on. There is always something. So what I would say is just stick firmly to what you think is going to work. Look at the data about what worked last year and communicate more than you think. If your communication is valuable and helpful, or if it's a wonderful story that will make me so inspired, if it's, you have a really compelling case for support, don't shy away from shouting it from the mountaintops. What I would recommend doing less, I would recommend doing fewer posts that are just asking for money. And I would really recommend that sort of 80-20 rule, where you're sharing information that people want to hear, that donors want to hear, and then maybe 20% of the time asking them for money. But I wouldn't shy away. We don't communicate enough. 9% of people that answered that Giving Tuesday survey said they would have given, but they weren't asked. And if you don't ask, you are not going to get donations. The other tip I would have for you is ignore the non-believers. Like if you get one email that's like, I sent out an email today about this webinar. I'm sure I'm going to get a few responses back that say, how dare you run a webinar after the election? No matter what it is, someone will be mad. But you have to put it in the context of the rest of the people that wanted to know about this webinar, that wanted to sign up for it, that wanted to join it. So think about that when you're doing your fundraising. You know, people want to give, especially when they feel helpless. Like think about how giving went up in COVID. So give them a reason to not feel helpless and give them a reason to be inspired. And, you know, I think looking at your plan strategically, but I think you don't make changes if you don't have to.
I totally agree. I think that's spot on. There was one year in fact, it almost happens almost every year where there's an organization I personally support who doesn't do a Giving Tuesday ask. I don't hear from them and I get frustrated. Like,
Yeah.
wait a minute, I know you need the help. So I think those are wise words. Okay, we've got another one here. We had a couple people ask this in different ways. So we've got a lot of new nonprofits or newer nonprofits. So they're kind of having two different questions here. One,
Mhm.
as a new nonprofit doing Giving Tuesday for the first time, what do we focus on? And then also, what if we don't have testimonials yet that we can share?
I love new nonprofits. Everyone loves something new, right? So you have a total advantage. I would focus on your vision for the future, why you started, what is your North Star. I would do an interview with the executive director, or I would just write like a really like a journal entry, like almost like you're writing in your diary. This is why I created this. This is the problem I'm seeing. This is my story. Because if you're a new nonprofit, you probably have a very personal story about why this was started in the first place. Share that story. Share your vision for what you're trying to achieve. And I think, you know, if you're not comfortable raising money on Giving Tuesday, ask 10 people to tell 10 people. Say, you know, Giving Tuesday, we're trying to really ramp up our social media engagement. We're trying to get more people to know about us. Here's a post, here's a video. I would love if you could just share out on this day of generosity with 10 other people, you know, because that's how the word is going to spread. So I wouldn't shy away from it at all. People love things that are new. People love things they haven't seen before, but they really want to hear from you as to why now. So as long as you can answer that question honestly, I think you'll be fine.
I love
And
that.
good luck.
Absolutely. I love that. Let's dive a little bit into going live because I know you talked about that. And last year, I worked with a customer who went live for the first time over Giving Tuesday on the day, and they had so much success with it. So we had a question in here that says, when is the best time of day to go live if you can't be live all day? What is the best time? And then looking at Facebook and then Instagram live.
Right. Look at your Meta Business Suite. Look at your analytics for Facebook and Instagram, because they actually will tell you when your audience is online. Like for me, 4 p.m. on a Tuesday, but it might be different for you. And also think about Eastern, think about different time zones that will affect you. But I would look at the back end and let Facebook tell you when the best time is. For instance, if you're targeting teachers, it's not going to be 11 a.m. on a Monday, right? Or if you're targeting moms, it might be 9 p.m. on a Thursday, because maybe that's the only time that they have in their day that they're alone. So I think looking really closely at your audience and your metrics to determine the time. One thing I will say about Facebook Live that I get a question is like, how long should it be? It should probably be at least like 5 to 10 minutes, because the algorithm needs time. People need time to log on. I mean, you're going to promote it, but I always recommend 5-10 minutes, 15 if you can do it, if you can have a panel, or if you can do an interview, or if you can just, you know, do a walk through the grounds. I know the trustees of the reservation here, they do a really great live where they walk through the grounds and talk about the trails and how they're preserving them and that kind of thing. But just really look at your specific audience, who you're trying to attract. And it's a lot of trial and error too. You know, it's a lot of just experimenting. The first live is never going to get as much as the second one, as much as the third, as much as the fourth. So your very first one, just make sure you're promoting it everywhere before you go live. And then, yeah. And don't say it's your first Facebook Live, and don't say you're nervous. And I recommend using Instagram, just because Instagram has better notification tools, and it's on your phone mostly. So someone might have their phone next to them and they'll get an alert that you go live. So you'll probably get more traction there. So that would be my recommendation.
Did y'all get that? That was just like a list of things to remember. Okay, look at Instagram. All right, like promote, promote, promote. Okay, like really important stuff. Don't let them know it's your first one,
Yeah,
but
don't. That's like
know.
if I went out to speak to your conference and I said, "Oh, I'm so nervous.
Yeah.
I've never done this before." Then you immediately I would lose credibility. So just think of it that way. Just fake it till you make it, basically. And just come with a lot of energy. That's going to translate on live video really well. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can use your phone, but as long as you have energy and people can hear you and understand you, you'll do great.
I love that. Absolutely, Julie. I love that. Okay, we got another great one. Is there any harm in starting a year-end campaign, quote, early? So this person mentioned in mid-November that goes through the end of the year, but using Giving Tuesday as like a boost instead of
Yeah.
a separate Giving Tuesday campaign.
Absolutely. I think that's great. I think people know year-end giving is coming. Maybe you could do a thank you campaign just to kind of warm people up. You could do things that you're grateful for. I mean, November's so good for sharing gratitude. I would really talk about things that didn't work well this year but you're maybe grateful for something else, or just be very open and honest as you're warming people up, but think of it like you are warming them up in November. And let them know we're building this campaign. This is what we're trying to do. As long as you're just very specific about the why now, why this, what is our vision for the future? What could we accomplish if we raised all of these funds? What would it look like? What would it mean for the community? What would it mean for the cause? And then, yeah, Giving Tuesday is a great place in that case, I'd probably ask people to become recurring donors, or I'd do a very specific campaign, or like for a little boost, like a match or something around your year-end giving. But you can't start it too early, especially if you have a big goal. People need to see something quite a few times. I've seen annual campaigns that only send 2 emails and then they worry why they haven't raised the money that they want. I just think communicating more, but communicating in an authentic way is the best way to go. I'm not talking about spam or e-blasts. I'm talking about really taking the time to write down the stories and talk like a human to other humans. And if you do that, you could start today. Honestly, you could start your campaign today because people will want to see it.
I love that. I totally agree that authenticity is key, and people can tell. Everybody knows this, right? Donors can tell. Donors can
Yeah.
tell when you're being authentic and you're telling your story and you're connecting with them, and when you're not.
Yep. Exactly.
Important. We've got time. I think we can do one more question here. These have been such great questions. I know there's a
Yes.
lot more. Y'all, please to reach out to Julia with these other questions. When we're talking about a specific Giving Tuesday campaign, and this could be one they're using on GiveButter, what do we think about branding? Are we looking at Giving Tuesday branding? How do we brand, or how do we decorate these campaigns that we're launching?
Well, I think using the Giving Tuesday logo on your campaign, but it's your campaign. So the Night Ministry is that great example, where they have their website, but it's very particularly about their website. It's got the Night Ministry, but it just has the Giving Tuesday logo, very briefly. So I would use those resources, and I would make sure that people know it's coming from you. But putting that little logo on it, it's going to help give it some more credibility. But I don't think Giving Tuesday should be the primary reason, because if I decide to give to my food bank, it's because I want to give to my food bank. The other thing that I've noticed is that people know about Giving Tuesday. I mean, people that are not immersed like us, I will get questions from my friends and family. What is this Giving Tuesday? Is it an organization? Like, how do I know where to give to? So make sure that your organization stays top of mind, but it's just an excuse to have a campaign. It's an excuse to have a day of generosity. It's an excuse for people to really hopefully feel like they're part of the bigger good. But no, I wouldn't have it be the front and center, but look at some of those examples in the slides and then go to their website, and they've got a million examples of how you can incorporate it, but not let it take over your brand.
I love that, Julie. Absolutely. So y'all are going to get this slide deck. You're going to have all these links and all those examples, those incredible examples that Julia shared. Julia, thank you so much. This was incredible, incredibly helpful for us as we're launching into end of year giving here. So thank you for your time and your expertise.
Yes. And I just want to say to everyone out there, all the nonprofits, the work you do, it matters so much. It matters even more now. We have to stick together. We got to keep our heads up high. We're going to take a breath, but we're going to come back even stronger. And you've got this. I just know you've got this.
Thank you, Julia, so much. That's right. We've got this, right, everyone? There's lots of love for you and lots of gratitude in that chat, Julia. So thank
Oh,
you
thanks,
so
everybody.
much. Wonderful to have you here. And friends, hang on just a few more minutes. We're just going to wrap up with a few more slides and some updates for you. So big news, of course, as you know, we're doing Give Butter Gives Back once again. Yes, yes. So Giving Tuesday is now just around the corner, and we are celebrating by giving back $25,000 to nonprofits. Yes, yes, you did hear me correctly. $25,000, my friends. So the 5 most engaging Giving Tuesday campaigns on GiveButter will each receive a $5,000 matching donation that you can use to multiply your impact this year-end giving season. Do we love this or do we love this? Like, it's amazing. I am so glad that we do this every year. It has been such a treat to see all of those gorgeous campaigns come in. Remember just to submit your campaign by 11:59 p.m. on December 3rd on Giving Tuesday to be considered for a donation. Please check out givebutter.com/Giving Tuesday to learn more. Okay, definitely get that submitted. Oh, and by the way, yes, we have office hours to help you make sure your campaign is getting set up. So check that out, and we look forward to seeing those campaigns come in. All right. Of course, we just want to make sure that you know about the next webinar, okay? December 10th, put a big star on your calendar for December 10th at 1 p.m. Eastern this time. We're going to be talking about maximizing donations in the last 3 days of the year. This is big. We know all those donations that come in at the very end of that year, and it's important to talk about it. It's important to plan for it. So please make sure you join us December 10th for our next webinar. It is going to be fabulous once again. And of course, just to wrap up with a few little reminders here on our last slide. All right. Oh, yes, that was it. Oh my gosh, I got ahead of myself. Thank you so much for joining us, friends. It was so great to have you in the Zoom room today. GiveButter is here for you. We are so excited to see your Giving Tuesday and end of year campaigns. They're going to be fabulous. They're going to bring in the dough to make sure that you are getting everything you need from this end of year season to support your wonderful mission. Thank you for joining us, community. We're grateful for you. Have a wonderful rest of your afternoon. Bye-bye.